like to come, remember, I told your parents that Sunday morning we will have a brief devotion time. It is Sunday, and so for those of you who would like to join, we'll give you that opportunity. But today, during our morning motivation, we're so blessed to have a very good friend of mine, someone who, and I wanted you to all remember, you always need to be doing one of two things, two things. Pouring in and being poured into. If you ever know or are familiar with a river is called fresh water. And the reason why a river is fresh water is because it has an inlet and it has an outlet. That's what makes it fresh. If you go to the lake doesn't have an outlet. So a lot of times you go to the lake, you look on the edge and there's algae and there's stuff growing, right? Because it's not fresh water. But a river is fresh because it has an inlet and an outlet. What am I saying? I'm saying to stay fresh, you need to be poured into and you need to be pouring out. And so this is a great opportunity for us to come and to pour into you. But I always keep people in my life who I believe who can pour into me. And so this fella is someone who I'm so blessed to be able to introduce to you. His name is Mr. Jerry Reeves. He is a wrestler. He is an author. He is a business owner, entrepreneur, and inventor. Just an amazing man with an amazing story, amazing journey. He's written 2 books. One book, How Not to Break, which is a phenomenal book. You can catch it on Amazon. And also, the second one is Aging into Life, which talks about how to age healthy, not just physically, mentally, spiritually, and the whole 9 yards. And so today, he's going to share with you today. I see a lot of you with your pens and your journal, but also he has brought a handout that we want to make available. And so that if any of you would like to write notes on the handout, he's going to have some points on there. You guys can follow along. Or you can just write in your journal. Either one, I'll have it. Can we pass those out? So with no further ado, I'd like to introduce to you my good friend, Jerry Reeves. Can we give him a hand, please?
Thank you, Damon. Thank you, staff, for all the good work. And are we all having fun? I want to first say that I have opinions. So I'm going to take it a little differently. I'm going to take it into health and wellness. And the reason I'm going to do that is because if you don't have your health later in life, and I know a lot of you probably don't think about it right now, but when you're 50 or 60 or 70 or 80, 90, 100, I don't care, 125, it's going to matter if you're healthy and you can do the things that you want to do. And a wrestling mindset is going to help you through life and through this journey that is, it's not easy. And how many of you would guess, what age would you guess I am? How old? 78? Close. It's a trick question. Go ahead. 80. Oh, good question. Good. Okay. 82.
83.
Okay. So there's 2 kinds of ages. There's the chronological age and there's the biological age. Okay, science will say that I am 47 years old. Chronological age will say that tomorrow, being my birthday, I'll be 74. Thank you. Now, to win a national championship after not wrestling for 50 years at 72 years old, what do you think it takes to get back on the mat and try that, to do that? What does it take? Health and courage, yes, yes. So do you think I could have done that and accomplished that without my health? You can't do anything if you lose your health. So I know it's a hard concept, but let me ask you this. How many of you have met your toughest opponent? Who's your toughest opponent? Absolutely, absolutely. A great answer. The tough, you've already met yourself, right? And it's kind of like that saying, they say we've met the enemy and the enemy is us. And why do you think they say that? Maybe doubt. Maybe you doubt yourself. Why do you think when you're 74 years old like I am, and you think about that one move that you didn't do, you've done thousands of moves correctly. Maybe you've caught 100 balls and you missed that one ball. And yet your mind goes to that one ball that you missed. Why can't you control your mind to have it stop thinking about that one ball you missed? How many of you think you can control your mind? Good. Okay, so let's test. Okay, for 10 seconds, I want you to clear your mind. I'm going to tell you something not to think about that I don't want you to think about it for 10 seconds, okay? Okay, you got your mind clear? Everybody does. Okay. Don't think of a pink elephant. Okay. Did anybody think of a pink elephant? Be truthful. How many of you? Okay. It's hard to control the mind. And the mind is very important. But we're going to get back to, we're going to go down through this form because we've got to keep going here. So we're going to go through this, the Wrestler's Guide for Life. And I put at the bottom, I've left a little place where you can put one thing that you want to take home from this talk if you want to, and maybe you can kind of, if it resonates with you, you keep it and so forth. But why your health matters: stay healthy, stay capable, keep learning, become someone who can help. Later in life, even when you're young, some of your classmates, some of your friends may need help. People get into health challenges, and you never know when it's going to hit you. And the question is, how do you keep getting back up? How do you not break when everybody else is breaking around you, and you've got to find it within yourself to master not breaking and being part of the solution and becoming a better human being. That's the challenge. That's what we've all got to do, and we've got to figure it out. When we've got this little monkey mind saying, oh, I'm kind of frightened of that guy. He looks tougher than me. He's got a better score than I do. I'm thinking about all this when I step on the mat. Rather than keeping, okay, am I balanced? Am I ready? Did I show up for what I'm ready to do? Doesn't matter about the other guy. I have to be balanced. I have to be ready. That's a tough one. It's a tough one because your mind always doubts, always will pull you to doubt. Do you agree? Let's see a show of hands if we agree. Thank you. Okay, so number 2, learn to handle discomfort. We all know wrestling is a tough sport. It is not for the weak of heart. It will service you through life and business and everything you do. It is the reason that I went to college, that I ended up having a successful life, that I did everything, all because a friend of mine told me that his brother wrestled. I didn't even know what wrestling was. I was 14 years old. I entered into wrestling at Roseburg High School. That led me to college. That led me to open tournaments. And then I quit at 25 because I got my butt kicked. I went to Portland State University at an open tournament. I hadn't been working out. I hadn't been doing anything. And I just thought I could go there and, ride on my skills. Guess what? I got hurt. I got my ribs hurt. I pulled my shoulder. And I said, I think wrestling is over for me. I'm gonna hang my shoes up. I'm not gonna wrestle anymore. That was when I was 25, 24 years old. I got back into it at 72. How did I do it? I believe in nature. I believe in working out in the light and good air and breathing and the trees and the grounding and all this. And that's maybe for a different day. Maybe we'll end up having a seminar a little bit deeper on health and wellness. But learning the discomfort to get back on the mat at 72, I had to think myself out of this. And I knew that if I started wrestling with the high school and college kids, I'd get hurt. I didn't want to get hurt and have an injury when I'm going into these championships. So I worked out with myself in nature, doing things, getting in cold water, getting in the current, doing breaststrokes, doing all kinds of things, getting on limbs, swinging like through trees, and just basic stuff, barbells and whatever, to get and then hiking back and forth up a hill with various slopes and so forth, so to get my cardio out. But that's what I did. And then when I stepped on the mat, guess what? You will always have, after you master your moves, it's like riding a bike. You don't forget those moves. Maybe some people think you do, and you have to get back on the mat to get maybe a little bit better timing or something. But some of those moves, when I look back at the matches, I go, I don't even remember how I did that. But I did it. It was rough. It's muscle memory. Your body will learn those moves, and you'll have muscle memory. So the discomfort, I learned how to handle it by kind of avoiding it, if the truth be told. Okay, so number 3, protect your ability to live and help. That's a pretty advanced, but it's everybody. You got to move, and you guys all move. You move, and that's not your issue. A lot of people are too sedated, and they just sit too much. Sleeping is very important. It's almost should be a non-negotiable. You should try to hit a time that you can get on a particular time, in my opinion, where you get good sleep. Because if you're tired, and I know when you're traveling and you get into these tournaments, you've kind of got to. It's hard to always be rested and have your sleep. Being dehydrated is a really big deal. Why? Because first thing it does is it makes you foggy in your brain. So it'll affect your brain. So always keep hydrated. A lot of people think it's for the body. It's really, it's for both, but it's really, it's for the mind. And then train your mind too. Observe your body. Let your body tell you. If you feel like something, and I remember back in my high school, college days, when there'd be an athlete where he was really good one year, and the next year he just kept gassing out. He couldn't figure out why. Nobody felt. And in those days, I don't really think we looked to doctors or something like that to figure out why. But sometimes a basic thing can be wrong. I would say, listen to your body. If you feel like for some reason you're exhausted and you don't understand why, and you're working out a lot and you're not getting on top of your game, then ask for help and listen to your body and tell somebody, I just don't feel right. There's something wrong. It can be a very simple thing. You could have a blood test and you could be off in potassium or one of the minerals that you need to keep balanced. So always listen to your body, and then we go to learn from losing. Okay, learn from losing. Everybody's a winner as long as you're out here trying to do this game of life, and you're doing the best you can. And if you can help other people, you're always a winner. And the rest of it's just a journey. I mean, some of you are going to be champions, and some of you are going to be average, and some of you are maybe going to drop out, or some of you are going to get injured with an injury that you can't keep going. It doesn't matter. Don't let it break you. Figure out how to win. One of my favorite sayings is, winners just figure out a way to win. That can mean winning on the mat, but the mat of life is what you need to win. You need to win at the mat of life. And this is all conditioning to help you further. And then I think this one is pretty important. People probably don't talk about it, but respect your opponents, your coaches, and your teammates. A champion never needs to make someone else feel small. And we're all here to build, to be a tree of life. You're an individual tree. You're growing. You want deep roots. But your roots are connected to the other trees, and everything gets connected. So that's what we're here for. We're here to help others with this game of life. And then find a purpose bigger than yourself. And that, for me, is sharing what I've accomplished. I am an elder. At 74, I've been shot at, kicked, everything you can ever imagine in business, and you just keep going. And then when you lose loved ones, that's the hardest thing ever, but you've got to figure out how to keep together. And I think that's my message to you. Keep your health. If you keep your health, you keep your wealth. And then just don't become a better wrestler. Now, wrestling is important, and I will tell you that the best thing you can do in wrestling, it is learning more techniques, it is working harder, it is all those things. But at the end of the day, it's your mind that's going to bring you all the way to the top. It's being ready. If you step out on that mat and you've been out partying the night before or whatever, and you're not ready, and you didn't, you knew you weren't ready. Don't fool yourself. Face it. Don't let it happen again, because otherwise you're really wasting everybody's time. You're kind of wasting the coach's time, everybody's time, by telling them, yeah, I'm in wrestling. I'm really in wrestling. Oh, you missed 3 practices last week. Oh, but I care about wrestling. Don't fool yourself. Thank you.
Come on, we can do better than that. Give him a hand. Yes. Now, I didn't tell you this, he kind of brushed over it, but I'm going to let you know, 2 years ago, I was at the U.S. Open, and I had the privilege of watching him. Now, some of you have been to the U.S. Open in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is the biggest tournament in the country. Every other year, it's a world trial where you qualify for the world team, and then every 4 years, it is where they have Olympic trials at. And I'm telling you, to watch Jerry win a U.S. Open title in the Masters division was incredible. He had a video on Instagram. You can find it. It is went viral. It has over 1 million. I mean, gosh, how many views? 2.4 million views on Instagram. of him winning the national title at 72 years old. So when you guys are running, I'm watching some of you, and we're training, and I'm watching you, and I see you got an hour, you feel sore. Listen, that's called work pain. That's called work pain. There's a difference between injury and being hurt, right? Some of us have pain right now just from training, just from working out. But if your knee is clicking, if your arm's dislocated, if your neck is, you slipped a disc, now that's an injury. But to watch this man go out and wrestle at his age and tempering his body, preparing himself. I mean, he ties a rope to himself, swims in the current in the river. The true story, the things that he shared with you, he actually does, right? So we can make excuses or we can make it happen. And I think this should be a huge encouragement for all of you. You young people are resilient. You have one of the greatest things on the planet, and it's called youth. But unfortunately, so many times we get older and then we look back and go, oh man, I wish I would have known then what I know now. And so this is why I like to hang around men like this, because I know there's more I need to learn. And he has been where I'm going. And I have been where you're going. And so I encourage you to make sure that you take some time to find somebody that you can pour into, somebody younger, somebody that you can share a message, because that is his message. Prepare yourself physically, mentally, spiritually. Why? So you can help somebody else, because it's not all about you. You guys hear what I'm saying? All right, Jerry, thank you so much, man. God bless you. Appreciate you, man, so much. All right. So here we go.